Hi all, today we'll understand difference and differential equations. So these are the conditions to write a homogeneous solution for the given characteristic equation depending on the roots we are obtaining. So we'll discuss these points when we solving the problems. At that time we will understand clearly. Okay, the question will be like this: find the natural response for the following system: d square y of t by dt square plus 4 times dy of t by dt plus 3 y of t is equals to x of t plus 5 times dx of t divided by dt, with the initial condition y of 0 equal to 0 and dy of t by dt at t equal to 0 is 1. So what does it indicate? So it indicates that your y of t is 0 at t equal to 0 and dy of t by dt is equals to 1 at t is equals to 0. Okay. To find the homogeneous solution, why we have to find homogeneous solution? Your natural response is the sum of homogeneous and particular integral. So actually in this case we are not we don't get any particular solutions. We are interested only in calculating homogeneous solutions, so we are neglecting that particular integral. So if you find out the homogeneous solution, to find homogeneous solution, the first thing we have to make is that we have to nullify our input signal. Nullify in the sense we have to make our input signal to, we have to set it to 0. Okay, so when you set x of t to 0, what you will get? X of t is 0 now. 5 times differentiation of x of t is 0 now, so differentiation of 0 is also a 0. Hence you will get this equation. Correct, right? D square y of t by dt square plus 4 times dy of t by dt plus 3 times y of t is 0. Now we will replace d by dt by r characteristic, which will become a characteristic equation. So r square plus 4r plus 3 times y of t is equals to 0. So when this y of t is not equal to 0, y of t in the sense this is the output, right? If output, if there is an input, if you are not getting any output, then what is the use of that system, right? So usually this y of t is not equal to 0. Hence that is in the sense this thing has to be 0, right? If this is not 0, this has to be 0 in order to make this equation 0, right? Yes. Next, hence we get r square plus 4r plus 3 is equals to 0. So now if you can solve this equation by using calculator or by using the equation minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, you will get the roots as minus 1 and minus 3. So these roots are not same, right? So they are distinct and they are also real, not the complex number, right? There is no involvement of a plus jb, something like that. So we are getting minus 1 comma minus 3 as our roots. So when the roots are real and distinct, so this is the form of your homogeneous solution, right? So you can see distinct roots r1 r2, real distinct, there is something like that. So we will get c1 e power r1t plus c2 e power r2, because we have got only two roots, right? There is nothing till mth root, right? We are getting only two roots, so homogeneous solution will be in the form of this two terms. So yeah, you can see that now. So yh of t is in the form of c1 e power r1t plus c2 e power r2t. We know the value of r1 and r2 now. Replace them by minus 1 and minus 3 as we got minus 1 and minus 3 as our roots. Now we have to differentiate homogeneous solution. What we will get? So e power differentiation of e power at is a into e power at, right? So in this case e power minus t, so minus 1 is the multiplying factor for t, so we'll get that here, like e power at, the differentiation of e power a into e power at, right? So a is minus 1 now here. Okay, minus 1 into c1 e power minus t, and here value of our a is minus 3, so minus 3 c2 e power minus 3t is what we are getting here after differentiating. Now we know this initial conditions, right? At t equals to 0, what is the value of yh of 0, and what is the value of differentiation of yh of t divided by dt. These things we know, right? We'll just apply them. So when t is 0, what will happen? C1 e power something into 0 is 0. So C1 e power 0 will become e power 0 is 1. So we got C1. Next, in this total term also we'll get C2 and e power 0. So we'll get only C2 since e power 0 is 1. So C1 plus C2, and what is the value of yh of 0? yh of 0 is 0, right? We know that in the question it's mentioned. So C1 plus C2 will become 0 now. Next, we have to find we have to apply t to 0 for this equation. You will get minus C1 e power 0 minus 3 C2 e power 0. So you will get minus C1 minus 3 C2 is equals to, what is the value of this term when t is 0? 1, right? So we are replacing that by 1. Yeah. So now in order to solve this, you can use your calculator or just follow the traditional method. Just I am adding these two coefficients are already equal. I am just adding them. So I got C1 minus C1 is 0, and C2 minus 3 C2 is minus 2 C2. 0 plus 1 is 1. So we got C2 as minus 1 by 2, and I will replace this minus 1 to any of this equation. I am using first equation. So C1 value of C2 is minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. Hence C1 is 1 by 2. So therefore natural response is C1 e power R1t plus C2 e power R2t, right? So C1 is 1 by 2 now. E power R1 is minus 1 into t, and C2 is minus 1 by 2. E power R is minus 3 into t. So we got this response. Okay. Thank you for listening.